Hello, I'm Brandon Wolford, and this is my movie analysis on Movie Rounders. Now, the Movie Rounders is a movie mainly about the underground high stakes poker scene in the late 90s New York City. This movie uses a multitude of communicational skills, um, but I've gone ahead and picked out a couple that I think are maybe some of the strongest in the clip that I've provided. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. The first clip, or excuse me, the first term that I'm gonna discuss is nonverbal communication. Now, nonverbal communication is extremely important in the game of poker. Whether it's understanding what the person you are playing the game with is doing or understanding what you need to do, it's extremely important just to understand how you need to play the game next. There's many moments in the movie where this skill is used, but in this clip specifically, the one that I picked out is after the, I guess you could say, antagonist of the movie loses the first hand. He gets very upset and he sort of gives a death stare to the main character, Matt, who is played by Matt Damon. Excuse me, his name is Mike. But he gives sort of a death stare after losing the first hand and just displays his just disarray with the moment and how he's unfortunately didn't go his way in that hand. Next thing I'm going to be explaining is paralanguage. And now paralanguage it's used in multiple different parts of the movie. Like I said, it's a lot of these terms are, but excuse me. In this clip, it's important to understand that it's very high tense. They're working with money that they both really need, so it's hard to really depict. But the moment I've used is after the antagonist, KGB, who I'll refer to him as, he loses that hand. He excuse me, he says a snarky remark about how Matt only won the game, or Mike only won the game due to luck. And obviously this is how poker works. And Mike responds, surely, like, yeah, of course, like, yep, it was just luck. The next term I'll be going over is posture. Posture can be seen in Teddy KGB's just kind of performance throughout the movie, specifically in this scene. In the beginning, he's very confident. He has both of his hands on the table that they're playing at, and he really just seems like he feels like he's going to win. And after that first hand that's shown in the clip where he loses, he instantly becomes more, he gets in a slouch position, his hands come down to his lap, and he really is just kind of going with the flow, like he doesn't know what's going to happen anymore. The next term I'm going to explain is symbols. Now, Teddy KGB in this movie, he uses Oreos. He always has a stack of Oreos next to him during when he plays poker, and he uses them to, when he cracks open an Oreo, he'll do it before he reveals his hand. He'll crack open an Oreo, and if he cracks it open and eats it, then this typically shows that he has a good hand. If he cracks it open and puts it down, this shows that he doesn't have a good hand, and he's unconfident in his ability to go on with this current clip, or with this current moment in the game. This is seen several times throughout the movie, but in this clip specifically, it's only shown once, around about the 55-second mark. Now, the next term is communication. And communication is a broad umbrella, but here I'm going to be using an example of, because Mike, I'm going to go back to the same scene where Mike is watching KGB split these Oreos, and at this point in the movie, he understands what they mean. And so before KGB really says anything, once he splits the Oreo, in this scene, he puts it down, showing that he has a bad hand. Mike understands this, and he reaches before KGB really says anything and just grabs the chips, because acknowledging that he had won that hand. The next term I'm going to go over is eye contact. Eye contact is held a couple times during this scene. KGB is a bit of an awkward character, so he's not as strong with it. But specifically after losing the game, he holds strong eye contact as he makes sort of aggressive remarks towards Mike, saying that he only won because of luck, and he must feel so high and mighty for this win now. The next term I'm going to be discussing is emotions. Excuse me. Now, emotions in the game of poker, they vary depending on how you're doing in the game, of course. But in this scene, that I'm going to be explaining, KGB goes from instantly being all uppity and impactful and kind of sort of predicting what's going to happen to a second something doesn't go his way, he is unsure and he's almost pouting during the match, which is odd for his character. But just because of the negative situation he was in, this is how I was relaying it. The next term is rate. Now, the way I'm going to define the word rate is by the speed of which someone is speaking. And so at the last hand of a scene, KGB can be, as soon as he loses, he says to Mike, take it down. So that's kind of just him referring to just take my chips. Like he's kind of acknowledged that he had lost, unfortunately. But yeah, the next term I'm going to be defining is facial expressions. Facial expressions can be seen in this clip during the first hand before Mike makes his move. He's unsure if he's going to continue on with his current sort of idea with how he's going to move on in the game, but he decides to, based on KGB's actions, you can see in his face while he's sitting there. It's about 20 seconds of the clip. I think it's from the 25 to the 45-second mark. He is thinking about what he should do. You can see in his face he's going up and down. Should I go all in? Should I hold? But in the clip he decides to go all in. Now, the last term I'm going to be describing is feedback. Now, feedback is important in the game of poker, and the way I'm going to be analyzing it is during the clip you can see in the first hand KGB makes his move where he adds $5,000 worth of chips into the stack, and this is what causes Mike to have that sort of 20-second realization where he's thinking about what he should do, and based on the feedback he received from KGB's actions to now what he should do, he was able to understand that his hand, he felt that he was bluffing basically, so he went in with his chips and he ended up being successful in winning that hand. But yeah, this is my analysis on the movie Rounders, and thank you.